Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on A Cinderella Story, Once Upon a Song. Now, as you know, A Cinderella Story, Once Upon a Song is meant to be a 2011 teen musical comedy film that was directed by the same guy who did Another Cinderella Story, as well as being the third installment in a Cinderella Story series. Now, the premise of the film is meant to feature Katie, played by Lucy Hale, who is meant to be treated more like a servant, a slave, and a pack mule by her step family. And her step family are basically, you've got the stepmom who is kind of like seeing things as golden opportunities, runs the sort of school as her own like personal playground. We see the sort of stepsister sort of can't seem to save her life, and you've got the troublemaking younger stepbrother who starts off bratty but over time does warm up. And we kind of see how Katie wants to sort of perform a music video with her big one-hit song. And we kind of see how a sort of president for a record company from England who wants to enroll his son Luke into the school. We see how Katie sneaks in a sort of demo CD into Luke's father's briefcase, and we kind of see how Luke's father is thrilled with the song. And when you've kind of got the stepmother Grail, you can kind of tell she sees this as an opportunity to make her daughter Bev the opening act, and so uses her stepdaughter Katie as a way to kind of make Bev look like she's singing. Now, the film, I would say, tries to be like the other two Cinderella movies, but they don't really do much of a good job. I feel like characters' roles are changed, reversed, or altered, because when you've got the sort of backup friend Angela, she's not really like Cara or Tammy. She doesn't really seem interesting. She's just the Asian friend you would see with the group with the group of friends, which feels like there was a lot they could have done with her. And when you kind of got the self-help guru kind of like not really known as Reverend Tony, you can tell that he's meant to be the third friend. He basically starts to see what Gail's like and starts to kind of be a friend to Katie. And you can kind of tell there's only one evil stepsister, and you kind of got Victor, who's meant to be the stepbrother, opening up to Katie and wanting to help out near the end, which feels like they needed to kind of have that one good family member, which does remind me of what they did with Anastasia back with the Cinderella Disney films. And I would say when you've got the chemistry with Luke and Katie, it doesn't really feel interesting. It feels like they've only known each other through some things like common grounds, interests, but it doesn't really feel like it's interesting. It feels like the director, Damon Santosvio, probably looked at the second film and probably rewrote the script to change things around. I feel you could have had an introduction to Katie's life mentioning what happened to her father, which they do, but I think the first Cinderella movie did it a bit better because it actually gave you a reason to root for Sam to get out of her old life and get something newer out of it. And I would say they also had opportunities to redeem Beth near the end, which they don't really do. Again, I would say the plot reminds me of the Sweet Life and Zack and Cody episode with the high school musical play scene where they had Maddie sort of dub over London's lines and that to make her look like she was singing. This is the same. It feels like they copied off the same plot. And I would say there was a lot of opportunities they could have done with some of the characters, like Angela not wanting to get expelled because she doesn't want to disappoint her family. You could have it that Victor does care about Katie and sees her more like a true sister, but it feels like there was some limitations that felt like they were limited. And I feel when you kind of got the scene where they go to the ball, it's been done before in the first and second one, but instead it's the stepmother who finds out. So I feel to me, Once Upon a Song sang a tune, but repeated itself. So I still think it deserves a thumbs in the middle. It's kind of alright, kind of okay, but really this is like Star Wars The Force Awakens before it was a thing. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.